Picking a dissertation topic is like choosing a Netflix show. Too many options, none of them feel right, and 3 hours later, you still haven't committed. This part of the process is tough, and here's why. In the real world, problems come to you. You're asked to solve something specific. But with a dissertation, you're handed a blank canvas and told to paint something meaningful, with no instructions and a deadline. And once you start digging in, everything starts to look interesting, until nothing feels good enough. I've been there. I'm a professor of business analytics and applied economics at Charleston Southern University, a dissertation advisor and committee member. I also serve as chief intelligence officer at Sparks Research. And across all of that, I've helped dozens of students get unstuck at exactly this point, picking a topic. And let me tell you, no one has this figured out at the beginning. Not on day one, not at the end of year one. Even those who think they do, they usually pivot multiple times. Here's the mindset shift you need. Most people think picking a dissertation topic is about being original. It's not. It's about picking something worth finishing. You don't need a brilliant idea, you need a solid one. Most great dissertations aren't breakthroughs. They're well-timed updates. If you're stuck, you're not behind. And you're not alone. But there is a smarter way to approach this. Because the advice you've probably heard, follow your passion, okay, but which one? Make it narrow, sure. What does that even mean? You'll figure it out. I'm trying. That's why I'm watching this video. In this video, I'm giving you 10 field-tested strategies for choosing a dissertation topic that's finishable, defensible, and, if you want it to be, publishable. Let's get into it. Strategy 1. What would you do next? Instead of starting from scratch, start with something already proven. Find a dissertation or journal article or theory that made you think, wow, I wish I had written this. Then ask, what would I do next? The brilliance isn't in being first, it's in doing it better, smarter, or in a new direction. eBay? Not original. Uber? A disruptor but not unique. Apple? Malcolm Gladwell called Steve Jobs a tweaker, someone who refined, not invented, and he was right. Every dissertation ends with a future research section. That's not filler. That's your blueprint. And if you can say this person literally recommended this next step, it's hard for anyone to question your logic. Bonus move. Reach out to that author. You're a student. There's a high likelihood they will throw support behind you, especially if you pitch your efforts as an extension of their work. Which leads to the next point. Strategy 2. Do the 2.0 version, or even a 1.1, 1.5, whatever. Some of the best dissertation ideas, award-winning work, come from updating an existing model or idea with better tools. What used to be true, is it still true? What was tested in one context? Does it hold up in another? What method was used? And can you improve it? That's literally how CHAID, the decision tree algorithm, was born. Gordon Cass took an old model, applied chi-square to it, and the net result is one of the most used machine learning tools today. His dissertation wasn't flashy, it was smart. Strategy 3. Cross it over, pivot it. Take a theory from one field and apply it to your own. One of my students loved baseball, so I told her to apply a sabermetric model from Bill James to measure productivity inside organizations. It worked. Same idea, new field. Pivot move. Another friend of mine from my graduate school days was the first to apply Kahneman and Tversky's prospect theory to engineering. Old concept, but brand new to the field, making it groundbreaking because no one had gone there, and it helped launch his academic career. Ask yourself, what is a widely accepted idea from field A that has never been tested in yours? Even if the results turn up null, that's a significant finding itself. Which again, primes the next idea. Strategy 4. Old series, new context. You can build a career replicating old studies in new contexts. Social behavior pre versus post-COVID. Managerial trust before AI hit the workplace. Leadership styles during economic expansion versus recession. Replications done well are incredibly valuable. Rutger Bregman's Humankind unpacks decades of research assumptions and flips them. You can do the same with a well-timed replication or critique. If you're already thinking, I need to remember all of this, I've got you covered. There's a free checklist linked below with all 10 strategies and key questions to help you pick and refine your topic. Strategy 5. New construct, existing framework. This one's trickier, but powerful. Take a trusted theory and create something new within it. Example, I once broke down a client's customer experience model into 3 pillars: technological, relational, financial. From there, we built measurable constructs, surveys, and ultimately, a dashboard they use to this day. You're not inventing out of thin air. You're building on a strong foundation, and that gives your work legitimacy and structure. Strategy 6. Talk to people in the know. Seriously, just ask. Ask a scholar, a practitioner, or even a past grad. If you had time to do research in this space, what would you study? What do they think is lacking? And if they were to study it, how would they do it? People love being asked this question. And when you're a student, nearly everyone will take your call or answer your email. And that leads to the next point. Strategy 7. Find someone doing something big. If someone is running a major study, especially longitudinal or grant-funded, ask to contribute. Or pitch a side project using their data. That's half the battle won right there. Because trust me, access to data is often the hardest part. If they already have it, you just leveled up your whole project. Strategy 8. Apply new techniques to existing data. Find a clean, vetted dataset, then ask a new question or apply a modern method. A friend of mine took Harvard's open data on calculus instruction, ran a multivariate model, and had Chapter 4 basically done in record time. Talk about a dissertation hack. That's working smart. Strategy 9. Look at familiar data through a new lens. Maybe the data's been used a dozen times, but no one's looked at it your way. Maybe no one has segmented it the way you want to. Maybe no one's asked your question yet. This is especially helpful with data that has gone through rigorous methodological considerations. This essentially secures any questions you would have in your Chapter 3 portion about data collection, etc. Strategy 10. Solve a problem for an organization. Ask a company or nonprofit, what's something you wish you understood better? Offer to study it. Use their real-world pain point as your research focus. Congratulations, you now have a sample, real-world relevance, and maybe a consulting opportunity waiting on the other side. Bonus strategy. Find someone who will fund it. There is money out there for good ideas. Grant money, departmental support, small business budgets. Sometimes people don't have time to research, but they do have money to support someone who will. If you bring the idea and the hustle, you might get backing that helps with collecting and harvesting data, site access, validation to your methodology and findings, and support in the overall delivery and presentation. Support behind a project from an organization is a solid signal to a committee that this is a worthwhile project. It's not just about finishing, it's about positioning yourself beyond the dissertation. Let's recap. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You just need to roll it in the right direction. Pick a topic that's grounded in something real, is feasible to execute, and is valuable to someone, even if it's just you and your committee. Whether it's a 2.0, a pivot, a replication, or a partnership, there are smarter ways to choose your topic. Stop trying to be original. Start trying to be strategic. If this helped you feel even 1% less stuck, give it a like so YouTube shares it with someone else who's in the same boat. Want more research hacks? Subscribe. I've got videos coming on narrowing questions, building a lit review, and surviving your defense. You've got this. See you next time.